Hi, this is Susan Uclea from Yantis, Texas. I play at the links at Lands End. This is Golf Smarter number 985.
When we're out there on a regular design and we're walking a site or just a site in general, you've probably heard of the expression that we design on a blank canvas. I don't like using that phrase on regular design, and I don't use it because it's never a blank canvas. You're designing on nature. Nature is the signature of our projects. I don't use that expression. And what happened with TGL is all of a sudden we do have a blank canvas. And the challenge is not only a blank canvas, the design of the holes, the strategy, but also the surroundings. Where is this located? So now we also have to think about, where is it located? Is it in a mountain? Is it in a desert? Is it on the links course? Is it on all of these things we had to envision? So we're designing the 360 ambience of each hole, not only just the hole itself. For the first time in my career, I was designing on a blank canvas.
A look behind the curtain of TGL's whole design process with course architect Augie Pizá.
This is Golf Smarter, sharing stories, tips, and insights from great golf minds to help you lower your score and raise your golf IQ. Here's your host, Fred Green.
Welcome back to the Golf Smarter podcast, Augie.
Thank you very much, Fred.
We're laughing because we've just spent the last half hour trying to get this thing to work, and to get the recording to work and the phone and the everything. But we've done it. We're recording now. And I'm so excited to talk to you about TGL. And I hope that you don't have these glitches going on with TGL, because it's much bigger, because that's live. We're recorded, and you don't need that kind of issue going on.
Well, I can control this. I can't control TGL, Fred. So I think we have this all under control, But
and if it doesn't work, we can either blame ESPN or Mercury in retrograde, which it's not.
This is great. So, yeah, exactly. So, I'm fantastic. It's great to talk to you always, Fred. I've always liked the angle of your interview. So let's have fun.
Thank you. Let's have some fun. I am really fired up about TGL. I'm begging my friends to watch it, and they're like, "Yeah, I haven't seen it yet." But a couple people that is like, "Okay, I'll go watch it now." I'll get a text from 15 minutes later, like, "Okay, this is fun."
Yes, agree. And it's only going to catch on little by little, or chunks by chunks. You never know. Yeah. It has all the entertainment value you want. I mean, I'm enjoying it very much. I absolutely love it. Of course, I'm biased, but the same experience that you are having, I'm having with my friends and people that text me. I'm like, give it a shot. It's on Mondays or Tuesdays, now Mondays. Just enjoy a good fun, a great show, fantastic production. Great hole designs, if I may say, and I'm speaking for the three of us. I'm speaking for Bo Welling, the Nicholas Design, and ourselves. I think we brought in a very cool and exciting balance to the overall 15 holes experience, and I don't know. I'm just enjoying every bit of it.
Yeah, and as we're recording this, tonight is the fourth week of TGL, where this has been building up to Tiger versus Rory. Their two teams. What is it, Boston versus Florida? Is that what's happening tonight?
Jupiter against Boston, and I think they've done a fantastic job, Fred, of how there's so many masterminds behind the production. I really loved how they brought, the storytelling together, and how it built up from week one to week two when we had Tiger, and then week three we had another very, very nice clash. Yes, you can argue the games have been a little bit lopsided, but that's sports. That explains that it is a competition. It is a sport. There is something, exactly. There are cool things happening out there. If every game was close, hopefully we wanted to get to that. But everybody needs to adapt to this. Everybody needs to to everybody needs to adapt. Everybody needs to start
Accept what
growing
it
and
is.
to know and now building it up, as like you well mentioned, to Tiger's team against Rory's team. I
Right.
can't not wait. And the beautiful part is that the first hole is one of ours. It's the flex with the lava that you've probably seen, and we're very, very excited for that first hole.
Well, we're going to go into detail about each of the holes and everything else. But it seems like what everyone's talking about so far is the first week the Tigers team was playing and Kisner hit out of the bunker and almost killed somebody, smashed into the flag. It just brought out the humanity in Tiger, which we've always witnessed the competitive Tiger, serious, driven, gonna win this time, but he's laughing and he's like doubling over in laughter, and everyone's like, that was awesome to see Tiger as a human being. Um,
That is what we get at TGL. I think that humane side, that a little bit of the fun factor. That's what we're looking for. Obviously competitive. Obviously everything that we want. Everything we're looking for. We're just greedy. We're looking for everything. We're looking for everything on TGL, including fun, entertainment. So that's what we're enjoying right now. And that shot from Kistner, it wasn't planned.
no, of course not. Of course not.
But yeah, it's I'm just glad it hit the flag post.
And yeah, exactly. And the potential. Just watching a couple weeks, and you're seeing potential. That first of all, you got 2 hours of top-notch golfers, right? And as opposed to like this past weekend, they're complaining about how long the rounds took at
Yes.
Torrey Pines, and here you got 2 hours controlled, and the fact that we all know that Tiger's going to have a difficult time walking 72 holes these days and be competitive, but in this environment where he doesn't have to do a lot of walking, he could just showcase his golf prowess as opposed to his physical stamina. It just brings in the idea that, oh, wait a minute, it doesn't just have to be PGA Tour players. We can get some of the Champions players. We can get some of the retired guys back in. I'd love to see a team with men and women together. Let's get the LPGA out there, right? And Mac Barnhart and I were joking about, and at some point, I want to see when somebody's teeing up the beverage cart to pull up.
I love that. This is you bring up so many good points, and one that it was that we all wish and think is that we get Tiger for the next 15 years. That's
Yeah,
beautiful. Let's get him out there. I mean, because when you see that swing, it's a beautiful swing. Yes, it's
it's
just
Tiger.
it's just a work of art in motion. So yes, of course. I mean, hey, we all know as golfers. I mean, at that for as at that level of competition, we're walking there. They're walking a marathon every single week.
Right.
That's what it's almost equivalent to. You're walking hilly, uphill, downhill, competing. Luckily, you don't get to carry the bag, but your caddy
Yeah.
does. But it at the end, you're with the practice rounds and the competitiveness. If you make the cut, you are walking a marathon every single week in, week out.
Yeah.
So obviously that takes a toll on you, and that is part of the beauty of competitive golf and the 4 days that you're out there. It's it's that it is also part of it. Golf doesn't give you the physical condition, but it does require it. So it is something very, very interesting that you bring up, and I think that that what happened, what we're going to see out there. Yes, of course. Now, now you can, we can talk about maybe the champions, at that different levels, celebrities, etc. It's only going to get better, Fred. I'll guarantee it's only going to get better. It's a beautiful thing
Yeah.
that we're living right now with with technology and the game we love.
Right. Right. I want to see Trevino out there. I want to see John Daly out there. Right. And bring in the mystery team. Mac was suggesting bring in the mystery team. Let's have a team with Brooks, right? And
Well,
Phil.
now
And
you want all the mascots too. Come on, Fred.
oh, there we go. People playing mascot
Yeah, no, yeah,
costumes.
no, but yeah. I mean, it is a beautiful thing. And then one thing we have to also address to all, I know there's a lot of purists. I consider myself slash purist as well. Obviously, um, it's not a competition against that part of golf. It's a fork. It's another avenue to enjoy the beautiful game of golf. If you look at it that way, just it's just another avenue, and I think it's a beautiful. Again, I repeat, it's a beautiful thing we are living now.
One of the elements that I'm so excited to talk to you about is, and that I think is the really cool side of what they've done with TGL, is to say, let's not play, like a normal simulator that most people have where they're going, hey, we're going to play St. Andrews. Hey, we're going to play Pebble Beach, right? They're saying, no, these are going to be holes that no one's ever played before because we don't want to put any limitations on our architects, on our course designers. And you were blessed to be one of 3 design groups that were invited. You didn't audition for this, you were invited, I'm assuming.
Yes, I mean I don't know what went in the back in the back, but we received the call, and of course an interview, and then the official invitation and thumbs up
Can you share
to
that
join this
process,
party.
how it went?
Well, it was obviously, imagine this is 2 years ago with everything that
Oh,
happened, Fred.
wow.
Yeah, so you have to put it in perspective. We were excited from 2 years ago to today, receiving that call, making the trip to Orlando, Florida, interviewing with Scott and Andrew. It was a beautiful interview, beautiful chat. It was good. It was good all over. That luckily we were appointed to be the third team that they were looking for. And just imagine, for a year and a half we couldn't talk about it. So that's probably on a personal note, and for our team, that's probably the a good story to tell, because you're on embargo. It's kind of like when you're in those shows of Big Brother or whatever they call it,
Reality
and you
TV
can't
shows,
and you
yeah.
can't say anything. It's already done, but you can't say a word. So that's what happened to us, which it was really exciting to live. Now, with that said, when we
Well,
started,
kudos to you because we've talked multiple times
yeah,
in that, this is the 3rd time you're on,
yes,
and we talked while you were going through that, and that never came up. So
of course,
congratulations on
no.
keeping your lips really tight on that one.
Well, yes, I mean, yeah, in our industry, it's such a small industry that discretion is always pays off with all clients, whatever. So the gymnastics we've already had it, but sometimes we have projects that we can't talk about. Sometimes we have projects that the client doesn't want us to talk about because it's private, or it's in their private estate, whatever it is. So, and sometimes you have ones that they're like, let's do it. Let's go all over the internet. Let's shout about it. So that's always exciting. And the other cool story behind this, Fred, is that when the 3 designers, we were all in a vacuum. We couldn't talk to each other. We couldn't exchange notes. We couldn't do anything. So everybody, the 3 of us, were just in our own design studio, designing away with the going back to TMRW, to tomorrow, uh, and doing the back and forth, but we never knew what the other one was doing. So it was only till they brought us together and we all reviewed our designs that we were like, oh, I love that. Oh, that is a great one. That is a great addition. I love that. And oh, you're crazy, or whatever remarks came there. It was a fun process to be with Bo and Chad on in that same room, chatting away with our design intent and everything and our experience. That was a really, really emotional day for me. And that was probably like 6 months ago. So, and then getting ready for, Q3, Q4 of last year to launch in Q1 of this year. So it's been a beautiful roller coaster of emotions, as I like to describe my designs.
Wow. Wow. Were there after you guys, so you didn't have any opportunity to talk to them. You knew who was involved,
Yes,
right?
yeah, we knew who was involved,
Okay.
and we saw,
Okay.
we have golf shows, or we have some meetings, or architect, American Society of Golf Course Architects meetings, and we're like, you can only wink, and like, we're not talking about this, so so
So it's just
it was
like,
fun.
I know, you know, but nobody else here
Yeah, we're
knows,
like,
and we can't
yes,
talk
you,
about
no,
it.
you,
It's like, meet me in the bathroom.
yeah. Yeah, so it was a fun, interesting, exciting. It was pretty cool.
Amazing. So after you guys finally got to sit down and make your presentation of what you each had 3 holes to create.
No, we each had 10 holes to create.
10 holes to
Yeah, so
create.
there's
Okay, I'm
30 in
assuming too
total.
much.
Yeah, there's 30 in total, and out of those 30, 15 weekly holes are played in a different. That's where you create. That's where production actually creates the competition course.
So you're not going to see the same holes every week, but you
We
will see
No, you
redundancies.
you
You will
will
see a
see them,
week.
and that's the whole point, because we want the players to get used to them. We want them, the
I
players,
see.
the audience, and everything. If we put new ones every week, we would be on square one every week, kind of like. But if you've already played, the spear, which I've come to know that it's one of the fan favorites. If you come to play the spear, there's already highlights, there's already stats, there's already this, there's already that, so they can get acquainted with that sky caddy that they have right there in front of them, or tapes from other competitions, and they'll know how to play it. And that's part of what we want to achieve, on TGL, is for the audience to get acquainted to them, is the players, obviously. That's the most important, and find new strategies, challenge the strategies, think about different angles of approach, etc. So that's the whole idea, is that you will see, 60, 75% of them that you'll see every week or every other week.
So that means there's 7 holes that you've designed that will never be used, or just are not being used right
No, they're
now.
not being used right now. We still have some surprises that are coming, that are on the way, that I can't talk about it, but we still have some
Meet
surprises.
me in the bathroom.
Yeah. We still have some surprises that are coming up. Hopefully, everybody will enjoy them. There's a few things exciting that you'll see in design, I guess you just have to wait a few weeks,
Wait and see.
but
I'm willing to wait.
yeah, I think it's gonna be pretty cool.
So after the initial meeting with the 3 groups sitting down together and showcasing what they've developed, was there things that you were like, oh, I like that, I want to incorporate that into one of mine? Did you kind of see things that they did that you thought that works really well for this?
Not at the moment, because obviously at the moment you're just trying. There's so much information, because we're looking at
Hmm.
30 different designs. So it was just more of listening to the explanation. Of course, there was some oohs and ahs, kind of like, oh man, that's going to be cool, as they, yeah, you have the shoot, or you have the cliffhanger that are kind of like, you say, oh man, this is going to be good, because at the end, the brief was to design for the top players in the tour. So it's not like, we're not addressing the 3, 4, 5 T markers. We're just addressing the big boys T box. Look at that. See? So
what Augie's
there
referring
was
to right now,
fireworks
we don't
all
know
over
why.
the place.
All of a sudden, he went thumbs up on. He was talking about it, and fireworks were exploding behind him on the video.
That's
We
it.
don't know where that came from or why,
Hey,
but that was
that is
awesome.
exactly what happened. We were looking at all of our designs. It was fireworks all over. I think we all brought a great balance to TGL in regards of our way of strategizing or thinking. I mean, just being in the same room with Bo Welling, and Chad Getz, that was, these are guys that I grew admiring in my career. Nicholas Design, in the beginning for Bo's career with Tom Fazio, Tiger Woods, and now Bo Welling Design. I mean, they're guys that I've looked up to in my career, and to say the least, it was great to be in that room together with them, and sharing some ideas, and as colleagues. I think it was fantastic. It was a great experience, Fred, to say the least.
Can you walk us through what the original assignment was? And, it's like there were usually, when you scope out a piece of land to see how you're going to design a golf course around it, you've got the earth there to tell you where you can or cannot go.
Yes.
And here they're saying design a hole that is going to be on a screen, but they're hitting into it from 35 yards away, right? So where, and no limitations on, we want actual par fives that is a 3-shot hole, which you don't see very much on the PGA Tour anymore. So you can go 700 yards if you need to. So
Yes.
let's talk about the original presentation and what made you concerned and what made you excited about where you were going with those ideas.
Well, I'll put it this way. I'll try and put it this way, Fred. When we're out there on a regular design and we're walking a site, a beautiful site, or just a site in general, you've probably heard of the expression that we design on a blank canvas. I don't like using that phrase on regular design, and I don't use it because it's never a blank canvas. You're designing on nature, and nature is going to dictate. And for us in our philosophy, nature is the signature of our projects. So the I, I don't use that expression, and and what happened with TGL is all of a sudden we do have a blank canvas. And the challenge is not only a blank canvas, the design of the holes, the strategy, but also the surroundings. Where is this located? So now we also have to think about, where is it located? Is it in a mountain? Is it in a desert? Is it on the links course? Is it on, all of these things we had to envision. So we're designing the 360 ambience of each hole, not only just the hole itself. So that was a nice challenge. That was a nice way of putting, and I think that for the first time in my career, I was designing on a blank canvas, and so that's the beauty of it. There was this. You had to think about everything that was surrounding the hole, but also how did it feel? The tempo is a perfect example that we pinched to architecture is about playing with forms. And in this case, we laid out a few geometric forms and tried to work with that, like vertical. I'm a vertical architect by trade, so I bring in a lot of aspects from my vertical architecture days and experience into golf architecture. And one thing that I wanted to do is, all right, let's play around with these geometric forms and come up with something exciting. And when we pinched those two triangles together, we were like, wait, this is a very cool risk reward heroic hole simplified into two triangles pinched with a 15-yard width, and then it opens up, and we placed it at the tour average 286 more or less. Of course, you can move the tees a little here and there during competition or during the weeks, but the initial design is at 286 from the back tee. And it's had great reviews. Temple and the Spear, which Temple is the par four version, the Spear is the par five version, and that's how we created those. And then going back to where is it going to be, the first design was the Temple, and we're like, hey, you know, let's do this in Mesoamerica. Mesoamerica is Let's situate it in Mesoamerica. Mesoamerica is grabs everything from the Aztecs all the way to the Incas, all the way down south in South America. So that spread of those ancient civilizations, all of that is called Mesoamerica. Whether you do Incans, Aztecs, Mayans, Olmecas, Toltecas, and I can go on, all of that passing through Guatemala, etc. So we just visualized it in close to being part of Machu Picchu per se. So that was kind of cool that we can create with as a team with Full Swing, the technology, and imagine all of that. And I think that was an awesome thing to do as well. Like we have the Flex, it's on top of a volcano, and we can get away with things like that. And that's where we bring the fantasy bit to it, Fred. We didn't want to. I mean, the holes are designed. I would like to think, and this is where we place the line, is that let's design something fun, something crazy, something whatever you want to put, all the variables you want to put there, something unique, but that also that respecting the integrity of the game. So that was where we drew the line, and but let's get you know Fantasias on all the on where it is. Let's play at 10,000 feet or whatever. Let's situate it in Machu Picchu. Let's do this because we weren't going to have the external factors anyway. So why don't we have fun with the settings?
It must have been really amazing for you to be able to bring in your cultural heritage, right?
Yes.
Of that of
Yeah, we did it on
South,
purpose.
Central and South America. Was it something they asked you to do, or did
No.
you come back going, "Oh no, we really want to be able to bring in Central and South America into design here because it's something that really you don't get to recognize because golf is so European centric."
Yes. No. We did it. We did it with all intention, full intention. Get a little bit during our designs. You'll see bits and pieces there. Like one of the first holes that we design, it's an ode to the links. We have one on the links. Let's say it's on the west, coast of Scotland. Yes, where you have Troon and where you have Prestwick, where you have all these in that belt. That's where Bonnie Link is situated per se, and you'll see it. It has the infinite. It's like a number 8, and it's called Bonnie Link, which is beautiful link, and in Scottish per se, and Stirling, which is a little bit more like in the Highlands of Scotland, and you'll see that referenced in in the holes. So all of that, I mean, that was because, you know, I did my master's degree in golf course architecture in the University of Edinburgh. I've been very lucky to inherit two tartans in my lifetime, which is obviously the Ross tartan with the American Society most recently. But when I graduated from the Uni of Edinburgh, you also have the right per se to use that tartan. So those are pretty cool traditions that I you know inherited as as a student and living in Scotland and being part of the European Institute of Golf Course Architects, and all that part of my career was represented in that. So if you grab my 27 year career, a few of the holes will be representing different stages of my career.
Wow. Wow. And I want to remind the listeners, if you go to the TGL homepage, and I think it's tgl.com,
Yes.
you can look at videos and images of
TGLgolf.com. Sorry, Fred.
TGL. Oh, please, tglgolf.com. You'll be able to see all the holes
Yes.
and you'll be able to study them, and you can review them on your own speed and time and look into the architecture design, look into what Augie and his colleagues have put
Yes.
together for TGL in designing these holes.
And there's a pretty cool explanation on all of them. I think TGL did a wonderful job on filming us and going through the you know with a bird's eye view, going through the different elements. I think for anybody that's into golf architecture or wants to be into golf architecture or is curious about golf architecture, I think that is a great that is a great site to visit.
Tell me about your first impression when you walked into the SoFi Arena to see what was going on. Now, you know, you've been looking at sketches, you've been looking at computer screens the whole time and just conversations. Then it was done. You walked in. I'm assuming you've been there to see it in person. Tell me what your first impressions were.
Yes, I've been lucky to be in the first 2 out of 3 outings. It is a feeling. I'll start from the back to the front. Fred,
Sure.
this is a feeling that I will never feel again in my lifetime. What do I mean by that? Everything that that has been that has gone, you know, the work, the passion, the everything, the uncertainty, the excitement, everything that goes into something a never seen done before you know, project in your life, expectations, etc. You can imagine everything, but at the end you can't until the lights come on, until the music come on, until the DJ's on, until the MC is on. That is an experience, or that was a lifetime experience for me. And what you know, and for that feeling of like I said, like I mentioned these words, uh, I'll never feel it again, because from now on we know what to expect. We will to a certain extent we'll take it for granted. Um, and now we know how technology and the part of the game, the mix, the hybrid version of golf is going to work out, and it's only going to get better. Technology is here to stay, Fred. It gets better every day, and you see it in different platforms, different things. Just went to the golf show in the PGA in Orlando. It's crazy. I think what took over was technology on all across the board. Hitting bays, radars, putters, visualization aids, whatever you want to call it. Everything was about, or most was about technology. So technology is here to stay. Uh, and now it's only going to get better. So that feeling of jumping, taking that leap of faith, taking risks. It was a beautiful thing. You know, designing golf course that never before seen golf holes, ready to be critiqued, ready to open up the heart, the passion, the soul of what went behind the curtain to achieve those. That is a beautiful thing to do. And then you receive fantastic, and then you receive non-fantastic comments, and that's the beauty of it. The beauty is that risk taking, that passion that we feel for golf design, taking it a few notches to the next level in regards to the brief. It's let's have fun. Let's have fun challenging the top players in the world. And that is what we are hoping to do. What we have, all of us in TGL. It's been fun. It's been entertaining, and that's the bottom line. This is a made for TV it's the project and competition, Fred. So let's not lose sight of that. And going back to your comment, we've all heard of bucket lists. Bucket list on a TGL live experience. It is a great thing. There's only 1,500 people in there. You're seeing Tiger, Rory, or Schauffele, whoever you like. They're there, 30 feet in front of you, and you have, unlike anything else that we have seen in golf. We always have the worst as golf fans. We always have it the worst. You either have to walk and follow your favorite golfer for 6 hours, or you have to wait to see all of them. You have to wait for 8 or 10 hours on one spot that you saved, arriving there at 6 a.m.
Right.
So it's now, obviously I'm talking about general public. Obviously there's some hospitality and stuff like that, but at the end, we have it the worst. Here it's like a stadium. You arrive, you have your seat, you can get your popcorn, you can get your soda, you can get whatever you want, and your seat will be there, and you're just enjoying everything. And it's great. It's just a beautiful experience to see that. That huge screen. I think it's 5-story screen.
24
Yeah,
times the size of a
exactly.
normal
It's crazy good. It's
simulator
a
screen.
beautiful experience. You're in Palm Beach, so you're gonna have a great dinner or a great lunch or great golf if you mix and match things. It will be a very good experience for anybody that travels for a 2-day experience, 2 to 3 day experience, and that you'll have that entertainment factor and play beautiful golf in Palm Beach.
Who would have ever thought that there were actually golf golf course in the land of Oz? And you don't look behind the curtain, because the wizard is doing his work.
Oh man, I love that analogy. I'm a big Wizard of Oz fan,
It's perfect,
so I
right?
love it. I absolutely love it. Yes,
Oh my gosh,
that
that's
is
really
that
what
is the
it is.
feeling. That is the feeling, and we tried to follow the yellow brick road, and we'll see. We'll. It's funny because that you mentioned that, because it is an experience to start drawing and visualizing uh, throughout the design process, and try to achieve something that calls the attention, something that's good, something that's out there. As an architect, I go back, and one of my great inspirations has been Gaudi, or even Walter Gropius with the Bauhaus movement. Those are movements that really get under my skin, and you never know what this is, where our career is going to take us, but that's where most of the inspiration comes from.
Amazing. Amazing. And here's the big difference. I just realized as you were saying it. When you get a project, when you get hired to design a golf course, the owner, whoever the developer is on this, they're telling you, we want you to create a resort course or a course that we'd love to get on the tour someday. But please keep in mind that we still have to sell rounds. We still need to try to achieve 50,000 rounds a year, right? Well, TGL is saying design a course for the top 12, 15, 16 players in the world. And that's it.
But those are the best projects, Fred. And you hit it right in the nail. The best projects are the projects that are defined. Define me a project. Give me the brief. Let's come up with the perfect brief. Those are the best projects out there. You see it. I mean, TPC Sawgrass, Pete Dye got the call and said, "Hey, we want you to challenge the best players right here. Give us the most difficult golf course." Well, that's how, that this stadium design and that challenge came to fruition. But the brief was perfect. It was spot on. It wasn't and nothing, the toughest ones are when you go on website, it's challenging for the best players, yet amicable for the worst players. You can't have that. You can't, I mean, one of them is not going to be true, because it's either the design. There's two ways to challenge a player, obviously with the design, and then the setup. So if you have tight lies around the greens, it's going to be a nightmare for the high handicapper, or vice versa. So if they're running at 12, it's going to be it's going to be a nightmare for the high handicap. So you can't, or if it's running an 8 because it's a resort course and you're going to challenge the top players, it's not going to be fun for the top players. So you can't have it both ways. I know it's a marketing thing, and I understand it, and I love, okay, let's go. And they're going to have fun anyway. But the best golf courses always have the spot on objective and the brief. And that's why what the first chat that we have with our clients is why. The why. Why are we doing this? Why? And then we come up with the brief. We've had recent projects, that we don't have a back team, because the client is not going to have any PGA tours. Let's concentrate on resort, or let's concentrate on this handicap, or let's concentrate on this market, and the result is 10 times better when you define the project that you're doing. It is always the best avenue. Obviously, if you know what you're doing, if everybody's in the correct wavelength, and that is something very important. And TGL was perfectly briefed, and I love that.
Amazing. I know you've got to run, and I would love to talk to you some more right now, but we don't have the time, because I want to talk to you about this eco-luxury wellness golf course in Costa Rica that you're working on.
Papagayo, Costa Rica, yes.
I want to talk about the pit. I want to talk about each of the holes on TGL, but I also want to get an update on butterfly golf, which I just love the concept. But we don't have the time to do that today. So that is just an open invitation, my friend, for you to come back.
Well, let's do that. And connecting TGL, that is all those things that you mentioned are unique concepts, like the pit, golf lounge, butterfly golf, wellness golf. Take a look at them on our website, and you'll see that is part, or most of the reason why we got invited, because we look for thinking out of the box. We like to challenge ourselves. We like, I like to put it, we can be as crazy or as unique as we can. But if we don't have the client, if we don't have the crazy, unique client that wants something special, then we just become theorists. So we've been very lucky and very fortunate, I should say, to find out that the clients that call us, they're looking for something unique, something different, a cool concept, something that's out there. And so that's our best reward are those types of projects that really challenge us and challenge a little bit with all due respect to the game we love and the integrity of golf.
Well, congratulations again. It is quite a feather in your cap to be one of the very few selected to be able to do a project that hopefully will take legs and be part of golf for the 21st century. Really, really happy to talk to you again, and congratulations.
Thank you, Fred. It's great to be here, and we'll be back. Let's talk some more concepts.